And now it is time for Author's Corner. I am very excited to welcome Diane Batchelor, who will be speaking about her book entitled God in the Meantime, a story of trusting God's voice and embracing his timing. Love this already. Welcome to the Edge, Diane. How are you? Oh, wow. Likewise. Let us get into the book because this is some powerful stuff and we all need this medicine because this is absolutely medicinal. Now, you say you wrote the book as a gift to family and friends. Why?
Well, I think I'm beginning to realize as I'm getting older, I just celebrated 60 years.
Oh, happy belated birthday. Congratulations. Yes.
So I guess I'm old enough now to have sense and realize the value of legacy.
Oh, that's good.
And I was thinking, God has done so much in my life over the years.
Yes.
And I thought it would be a shame not to write them down. So my children, and the people close to me could have that as a record to remember and to build their own faith.
I love that.
But I think as I started some time before, in what would have been 2017, I began, writing a little thing and deciding, okay, I would tell that story or that story. But then I had a tremendous change in my life, October 2017, that made me realize that this story was bigger than just my children.
Wow.
And then 2020, I realized that, okay, this is something that really needs to be done. And so I'm giving you a little synopsis of how we got there, but that's how I got there. And through the strangest of circumstances, because we're closing out this month, which is Arterial Venous Malformation Month, AVM, Awareness Month. And this is the time, October 2017, when I realized that I had an AVM.
Wow, no, explain to everyone what that is.
Okay, an AVM is a set of brain, mine is in the brain, but it's a set of vessels, blood vessels, that are malformed.
Wow.
So I'm now understanding that you should have some, I think they're called ventricles, between the veins and the arteries.
Okay.
And those help to slow down the blood pressure from one to the other and not cause damage, not cause ruptures. Well, in my case, I have like a knot of vessels that are malformed, and so the blood just flows directly from the artery into the vein.
Oh, wow.
And can cause, and did cause in my case, a rupture, bleeding on the brain, which can be fatal, but thank God in my case it wasn't. AVM, as they're called, arteriovenous malformation, AVM for short, they're all over the body. The brain is the most common, but even though it's considered a very rare disease, enough people have it, and enough people have it in different parts of the body to make it something that I guess it's only rare until you have it. And so now I'm very much aware of this thing.
So when this challenge occurred for you, when this episode occurred, had you had any health issues before that?
Absolutely none.
Wow.
All the issues that I should have had, that should have given somebody a clue that I had this, I had absolutely none. I should have had maybe fainting spells, seizures, headaches, migraines.
Nothing.
None of those did I have.
Wow.
Until one day I just could not use my right arm, and that's when I discovered that I thought, okay, what's going on? Is this a stroke? What is going on? But
yes,
everything else was normal, just that my right arm was NIA.
Wow.
And, when I finally turned the light on and I saw that it was there, I realized, okay, it's there, but it's not functioning. Went to the doctors, in emergency, like really frantic.
Yes.
And that's when I discovered that there was such a thing in my brain. And the doctors I was totally lucid. I had no pain, and yet the doctor was showing me blood on my brain.
Wow. So at that moment, what was going through your mind?
You know, the weirdest thing, Alaine, I've been a Christian for a long time.
Yes.
I have heard about, you know, the peace that passes all understanding.
Come on, sis.
And how it
Preach.
will fill your heart and mind.
Yes.
And I heard it, and I guess I gave consent to it in my head. But for the first time, I understood experientially what that meant. Because literally, while I'm being told that I could die I could have died, and I still could die any minute.
All of us.
I was so at peace. I was so like just totally just cocooned in peace.
Wow.
It's an experience that I to this day I'm blown away by it, because if you told me before that happened that I could feel that way when I'm going through that, I would tell you absolutely not.
Wow.
That's what happened to me. Literally. And I read in somewhere where they said, instead of saying peace that passeth understanding,
that passes
old world speak, this person said the peace that makes no sense.
Oh, that's good. That's better. That's better, because it doesn't make any sense for you after getting a diagnosis like what these doctors were saying to you to be at peace and to feel and to know that God was with you at that moment and to not be freaking out.
Not the thing, I mean, so bad that my daughter, she was I think 16 at the time, and her thing was, "Are you really serious? You were at peace, and if you died, you would have been fine. Didn't you think about me?" Same thing.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So what was the treatment? What is the treatment like? Because this is something that is ongoing, right? It's more managing. Is there a cure for it?
Well, people who are, I guess, more fortunate, you could look at it that way, than I am. The brain bleed is in a place the malformation is in a place that's accessible without causing major damage or death.
Oh, thank God.
Mine is in a place that's inaccessible.
Oh, wow.
So mine is considered inoperable.
Wow.
So what they did was, I'm kind of getting very medical here, but
no, but share.
But I'll tell you, they entered my brain
Wow.
through my leg.
Roxine.
Through an artery in my leg. They put something in, and they poked around, and I'm going to make that way.
Wow.
Let me tell you, freaky. But the fear of being stupid and moving and going, ow, and then really killing yourself.
Wow, that is strength, though. Oh!
Yes.
My God.
Basically went up into my brain, checked out the lay of the land of the malformation.
Yes.
Took pictures, and so they knew exactly what they were dealing with.
Yes.
And then with a day in between, they went back in again. This time with a glue.
Wow.
Glue-like substance.
Yes.
Kind of filled in the malformation with the idea that those malformed vessels would die off, and they would eventually, hopefully, the brain would make new connections, because God is so wonderful.
Come on, sis, talk about it.
I've been ill for about a month with the most awful bronchitis. I was coughing. In fact, I'm convinced that the coughing is what led to the
right.
Coughing. Well, I was so worn out that I would spend days just lying on my couch.
Oh my gosh.
And watching YouTube.
Yes.
I came across this doctor, Carolyn Leaf.
Okay. Oh, she's brilliant.
And so I was just watching all that stuff, and she was talking about this word, neuroplasticity.
Yes.
And basically showing that the brain has in itself the ability to make new formations, to grow new brain cells, and take over of different functions, etc. And so when this happened to me, after I had already been in, I call it brain school, because I just sat there watching her stories.
Yes.
Thing. That when it happened, I now began to understand that
what was going on.
there is the possibility that my brain will make these new connections.
Wow.
So when the glue should, what they call occlude, that's a medical word,
Yes.
for basically killing off that area,
Good.
blocking it, killing off that area, and the brain should make new connections, so the blood should flow into the proper channels. That's what they thought.
Yes.
In the long run, I have had, I think, a 90 to 95% success of blocking it, but the rest, the 5% still remains. And so there is the possibility of another rupture. But I'm just really trusting God. They
Yes.
my brain every year. This year I haven't gone in because I prefer to sit at home than to go in and get COVID in.
Oh Lord. Pick your poison.
They check on it to see how things are going, and if nothing is no new, because the malformation itself can also form again. That's the other thing. So it can form new connections, or it could be dying off. So they check on it.
Wow. Wow, I mean, this is so much. And then, yes, and the story is very powerful and riveting. Now, talk to me about God in the meantime. Is God in the meantime, does that take readers through your diagnosis and through the piece that you felt that made no sense? What will readers get from the book?
It does, and why I keep going back to that avian story, because throughout my life, I had episodes of all sorts of things, sciatica. Some doctors thought fibromyalgia. So pain was a regular part of my life.
Yes.
And my children came 14 and a half years after I was married. My first one came.
Wow.
So I had a lot of times of just waiting.
Yes.
When are the children coming? When am I going to get out of pain?
Yes.
So because of this sciatica, there are lots of things that I wasn't allowed to do, and if I did, I'd suffer for it.
Yes, yes.
Because that I was, more gentle with myself. And then of course, because of the fact that the children came so late, I have to tell you this story. Got married at 22. Children didn't come. My first pregnancy, I was 36.
Wow.
The doctor labeled me a mature queen gravida. That's a word that I absolutely hated. And what it meant was old woman first pregnancy.
Yes.
Now, I am insistent I am going to have my children naturally. So I'm fighting with my doctor. I'm going to have my children naturally. My doctor, Dr. Errol Daly, some of you may know him, he insisted, Diane, no, you need to do a C-section. Well, I'm fighting with him the whole way through. No, I want to have my child naturally.
Yes.
Until one day I'm leaving from work and sitting with a colleague. It was actually my last doctor's appointment before I went on leave. And I'm heading to the doctor, and I just, small talk. His wife had a baby some months before, and I said to him, hey, how's the baby? And he said, not good. I said, what do you mean? He said, no, it looks like the baby is brain damaged, and it looks like she's blind in one eye. So I said, what happened? Complications during a natural delivery. In the long run, they still ended up having to do a C-section, but it was too late.
Oh, man.
I'm driving now in. I used to work at what is now the Maritime University. So I'm driving in all the way to Tangerine Place to Dr. Daly's office, and all that is going through my head is, oh my Lord, what is important is not how this baby comes, but that this baby is healthy.
Yes. Priorities, yes.
So by the time I got to Dr. Daly's office, I really believed that God had spoken to me, and so I went into his office, and he said, okay, Diane, we're wanting to schedule the appointment for the C-section for this time, and I'm sure he's kind of holding back, waiting for me to go, why I can't have my child naturally? And I'm like, okay, sure. And I'm writing it down. Sure enough, I ended up having 3 C-sections.
Wow! You hear that? 36.
And so I end up also with pain from the addition. So I was a whiny whiny child.
Yes, but understandably so, because you're having pain. It's not that you're speaking from, just for the sake of complaining.
Exactly. So I'm like, God, why? Well, let me tell you, when this thing happened, and I realized that Selwyn's brother, his Dr. Cecil Bachelor, is there in Japan.
Yes.
One of the things he said was, what a good thing that Diane didn't have children naturally.
Wow.
2 colleagues died in childbirth and later on discovered that they had that same
AVM. Oh my goodness. Look at that.
I tell you, so I mean, I was like, God, every pain, every little wine that I carried on, you were saving my life.
Yes. There are people on the line that are listening to your story now, and they are putting up prayer emojis. Everybody is saying, "My God, God is so good." God really is amazing. And there are a lot of times when we have supposed denials or detours that we say, "But why, God?" And God says, "I know. I know the plans I have for you," declares the Lord. And so we really have to surrender and to trust that we are led. What a powerful story, Diana. I wish we could speak more. Our time is up, but tell everyone how they can purchase God in the meantime.
It's on Amazon, or you can go to my website. You could go to godinthemeantime.com or dianebachelor.com. It'll take you to the same website, and there's a link there where you can purchase my book. And, I wish I had more time.
Yes.
But the book is called God in the Meantime.
Yes.
Because in the meantime that I was carrying on and thinking it was a mean time, meaning a hard time, God was at work.
Wow.
In the meantime.
Wow. That is so powerful. Thank you so much for joining. You're such a bright light. Thank you for your inspiration and your encouragement. This is a meantime that we're going through, and God is our all caps bigger than the meantime, God. And so we give thanks. Thank you, Diane, for sharing. May you stay healthy and keep defying the odds, Mama, and keep living in the peace that makes no sense. Oh, what a blessing. Thank you. Oh, you are so welcome. Bless you. That was Diane Bachelor, author of the book God in the Meantime. She said what she felt was a meantime. This was not an easy journey for this woman. But she has declared as a result of the miracles that she has seen with healing in her body and all of the things that she has gone through, that she shares in the book, that God is there working for you in the meantime. Wow.